If you're looking for something to enhance your libido and sexual function, and you don't want to do testosterone replacement therapy, you don't want to take any drugs, well, here is a natural option. Here are a few natural options that just might help you out. Now, before we even get into them, first and foremost, when it comes to enhancing libido and sexual function, you got to look at three things. You got to look at diet, sleep, and exercise. Okay? You have to make sure you are optimizing all three of those, and it might just solve your problem right off the bat. So, and reducing stress, of course, is a huge one as well. Now, when it comes to exercise, especially intense aerobic exercise has been shown to help with libido and sexual function, right? And so, what supplements could I take if that's not quite doing it? If I want to try something as well. Maca root is actually probably the best proven in terms of human trials. And again, there are so many things that, are claimed to help with these sorts of things. Just like there's so many things claimed to help with fat burning out there, boosting testosterone and libido and sexual function that, it's hard to read through all the bullshit, all the lines. But when it comes to actual proof, maca is probably top the table here. So maca root, take 2 to 3 grams of maca root powder with breakfast, okay, per day. All right, so take 2 to 3 grams of the maca root powder per day. And when we take the maca root, we want to make sure that we're paying attention to a few things. It should be standardized for macamides and macaines, right? So those are the bioactive compounds that are responsible for providing the benefit, right? So if it's not standardized for them, then, we really don't know that it's going to help with sexual function. Those are what are responsible for helping with sexual function, at least. Whereas, like ethyl acetate, that's formed when they mash the roots and then they boil them up. That's something that may help with spermatogenesis or the production of sperm, right? But as for, libido and sexual enhancement in general, this goes for men and women. Maca root could be helpful, okay? Now, you want to pay attention to the macamide and macaine content, right? You will make sure it's at least standardized for them. I think Maca Pure is the one that they used in the trial that I was reading this morning. That showed benefit for enhancing sexual function, and that's standardized for both of those. But pay attention to the process too. What type of company is this? How do they extract it, right? Because if you were to take maca and you were to go eat it in the wild, you go to the Andes Mountains, you go out to Peru and you try to get some maca, which survives in like extremely cold, windy conditions. By the way, it's a really interesting plant. But that you want the root underground. You want what's called the hypocaudal. That's the part of the stem that's underground, pretty much for the most part, and it's above the roots. Now they should specifically be taking that part, the hypocaudal, hypo C-O-T-O-L, and if you want to look it up, and they should be pulverizing it and then boiling it. Okay, this will activate the compounds in it and provide benefit, right? Otherwise, it may not. Right? We know some other types of plant compounds that need to be heated up to be active as well. Another example would be THC, right? So, this is an important thing, the extraction process, and we're going to talk about it in terms of some other secondary options that we can add alongside maca root after a month if it's not quite doing it for you. But, definitely pay attention to that and get an idea of, how this company is extracting everything and dive a little bit deeper than just, picking it up by the label, right? Do your research and due diligence. Now, if you're somebody that has benign prostatic hypertrophy, right? You're a male so again, this is specifically for males. Females don't have prostate, right? So if you have a, swollen, basically prostate, right? And difficulty with urination, all sorts of things and frequent, whatever. If you have BPH, you want to go for red maca. Red maca could help with that more so than probably black or yellow. Now, if you're looking to produce more sperm as a male, black maca is probably a better option. And if you're just looking for improving sexual function, you're male or female in general, and libido that is, then black, red, and yellow maca are probably equally effective. No single one has been proven to be much more effective than the others, albeit it should be said that the ones they've used in most of the trials are either black or red maca. So, I might just, you take that as you will. I might go with one of those, right? So that's maca. Now, if after a month you still have issues with libido and sexual function, well, we can add in one of three things, and these are some promising libido boosters with not quite as much evidence behind them as maca, but may help you out, and also in other parameters of health, right? One is Tribulus terrestris. Tribulus terrestris, we'll talk about how you take it in a second. Let's just name all three. Tribulus terrestris, Tongkat Ali, also known as long jack or Uricoma longifolia. I'm sure you heard of Tongkat Ali. And fenugreek. I'm sure you heard of fenugreek. So fenugreek, Tongkat Ali, Tribulus terrestris. Tribulus terrestris, you're going to want to take and again, you're taking one of these with the maca after a month. When you've tried, you try that maca alone for a month. And before you try maca, what are you going to do? Diet, sleep, exercise, reduce stress. Especially intense aerobic exercise. I'm telling you, it might just cure your problem. Okay? So start there. Less is more. Do everything as natural from the ground up as you can regarding supplementation and trying to address issues in health, really all the time, right? At least if it's not an absolute medical emergency. So Tribulus terrestris, 200 to 450 milligrams is what you're looking for. And you're looking for an extract that is going to be standardized to 60% steroidal saponins. Okay, those are the bioactive compounds responsible for helping to boost libido. Tribulus terrestris. Fenugreek. Fenugreek, you'd like to have standardized for 300 milligrams of saponins. I don't really care how much is in the extract. Make sure 300 milligrams of it are saponins. And probably the less the better to make up that 300 milligrams, right? Tongkat Ali. Now this one's been a big topic. We did a whole day on this on Airwin Wellness, but I have people asking about Tongkat Ali all the time for boosting testosterone, this and that. It's really not that well proven, for boosting testosterone in itself. But, it may provide some benefit in libido. We just need a little more research. It's had amazing effects on mice. Now, in terms of their sexual desire and libido and things. And, so it's pretty promising supplement. Now, we don't have as much evidence in humans, but how do we want to take Tongkat Ali? We're going to take anywhere from 200 to 300 milligrams in a day, and you're going to make sure it's standardized for urocominone. You can remember that because it's also called Uricoma longifolia, right? So urocominone, E-U-R-Y-C-O-M, right? A-N-O-N-E, urocominone, if you want to look it up. So, I've seen extracts that are standardized for like 10% urocominone, this and that. Now, people say, wait, what about a 300 to 1 extract, a 200 to 1 extract, a 100 to 1 extract ratio, right? You'll see that all over the place. You see them marketed as that. They often don't even mention the urocominone content, which is the most important part here, the bioactive compound responsible probably for providing the benefit in terms of boosting libido. What's the deal with this 200 to 1? Bullshit. That's the deal. It really, honestly, in short, and not to be crude, but it really does not mean much. Now, again, look at the company, look at the extraction process, and you want to see them going, picking that Tongkat Ali. It's covered with that yellow kind of, those yellow roots they're pulling out of the ground. That's that potent stuff, apparently. And you want to make sure that this ratio is accounted for purely by the roots. So when they say that ratio, what does it even mean? It means it takes, say 100 kilograms to make 1 kilogram of the extract, or 200 kilograms to make this much to make 1 of the extract, or 300, right? And so they might say, okay, well, if I'm using a 300 to make this, maybe I really took the important parts out of all that, and it took so much to make this. I used the whole ginkgo tree to make this one extract of ginkgo. That's how damn potent this shit is. But really, here's the truth. I mean, most often it's a marketing ploy. What happens is they say these ratios and they use the bark, the leaves, they use different parts of the plant that aren't providing the benefit. So, unless it's purely the roots that they're using for this, that ratio really doesn't mean much. And I probably wouldn't go by it almost ever. I would look more at the company and see that urocominone, right? Proof is in the damn pudding. Urocominone. Look at the saponins for fenugreek. Look at the steroidal saponins for tribulus terrestris, right? The macaines, the macamides for maca root. And that's what we got for you guys. I hope you don't suffer from this, but if you're somebody that does, here are some good options that you can try. And again, first, think about that lifestyle, all right? Let's change everything else that we can. Forget Brown. God damn, I'm doing great. I'm a little tired today because I literally partied like a freak of nature last night. It was a wedding. It was Courtney and Steve's wedding. I had a damn good time, man. Oh, shit. Yeah. That's why we got a little pale in the face today, but that's all right. Amy Sinus. Regate. Maria, what's up? Zapi, Tommy. You that one guy, huh? Lexolution, Randy, Z. What's up? Right Price. Living great. Loso, what's up? Rhonda, how you doing? Sean D. Hamilton. Gixie. What's up? Paradeep Vasava. Omar. How you guys doing, man? Galen Thompson. Holly, what's up, girl? And the first one of the day, my people, was Brando Eckert. This one's for you, my friend. Thanks for hopping on. We appreciate you. Quick to the gun. Holly, you were right there too. And you're always on, so I appreciate you always coming on. Say you learn something, get something out of it, which is great. But hey, thanks for coming on, Brando Eckert. It might be the first time I've seen you out here, but maybe not. We see a lot of people, and I appreciate the support here at When Wellness. So thanks. Yeah. So any questions about any of that? I mean, that was the standardizations or anything. Don't feel embarrassed to ask a question. These are all going to be gone when Amy Sinus. Amy, what you doing today? What's up, girl? What you got going on? All right, if there's no questions, maybe you guys could take a vote. Maybe start doing some Q&A days. Maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea. Because some of these videos turn into a Q&A at some point. But maybe I could just, dedicate a day to that. But you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. It's all we got for you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Happy damn Saturday. Thanks a lot. And happy When Wellness. We'll see you later. Need a nap.